Hey everybody, today we are talking about Animal Crossing. So I kind of have to talk about Animal Crossing if I'm talking about video games I like, because this is probably the game that I have put the most hours on in any video game whatsoever. As you can see, I'm a pretty big fan of Animal Crossing. In fact, today's makeup look was provided for you by Animal Crossing makeup. If you have never played Animal Crossing before, it is such an easy game to get into. It is very comforting, it's very cozy. It's just, you can play as little or as long as you want. It's very customizable, especially New Horizons. This game lets you build your own island. You can unlock tools to where you can change the terrain. You can rearrange things when you're tired of it. You can just build anew. And so it's kind of, because of that, you can really cater to however you want it to look. You can do as little or as much as you want with your town. It can be just like it was when you first landed on the island, or you can change the terrain, put fancy decorations, make really cool, interesting places. And because of that, that makes it so that you can play longer than just the story that it provides. So I actually really just latched onto this game, and when a new one came out, when New Horizons was coming out, it was like, of course I have to have a Switch and I have to have this game and I have to play it. And coming out in 2020, it was like the perfect time for this game, because it just, you could connect online with your friends and communicate with them over the game when you couldn't in person. The first experience I had with Animal Crossing happened a little bit later for me with New Leaf. I had a friend who recommended me the game, said that they thought I would like it, and they were very correct. I really enjoyed it. I sunk so many hours into New Leaf, just wanting to have all the possibilities unlocked for me. There was a time in my life where I was not missing a single day, getting on every day, checking on my villagers, making sure that they were okay, because I didn't want them to move out of my town. You probably know that Animal Crossing doesn't really have a story per se. It's just, oh, you need to make this island into a community and build all of the things that need to be built. And for New Horizons, it was to also have a 5-star rating so that KK Slider could come and play in your town. And then once you achieved that, that was basically it for the story. And then you just maintain your island. For me, that is not when the game ends. I have to get all of the achievements. And I know that Nintendo doesn't do trophies or anything, but for me, in Animal Crossing, for New Horizons, you have this checklist of these different stamps that you can collect, and with each stamp that you get, it's like a milestone that you've made in a certain area. So for example, one of the stamps that you can collect is for building a certain amount of DIY tools that you can make. And each card has 3 stamps that you can collect in level of difficulty. And so the first stamp would be make 500 tools, DIY tools. And then the next one would be do 1,000. And then the last one was 3,000. And that is probably the last stamp that I got, because it took so long making 3,000 tools, because there was another badge or another stamp that also was make 3,000 pieces of furniture. And so 6,000 things that you have to craft is very time consuming. And so it took me 5 years to finish getting all the stamps. And I am somewhat of a trophy hunter. I do like to collect trophies as much as I can. And so Animal Crossing, for me, since it doesn't have your traditional trophies or achievements, I get all of the stamps. New Leaf had a different, I don't think it was stamps, I think they were badges. A little guy would come and visit you and be like, here's a new badge that you've collected for earning something. And that was kind of neat for that game to have that. And in New Horizons, it was, you just get a stamp the second you complete it. I completed every single one of those stamps just a couple months ago, and now I consider that 100% completion for me for Animal Crossing. Did I get all the DIYs? Probably not, because I did not track that, and it would be really complicated to track it at this point. For a lot of people, just completing the museum is what they would consider being done with the game, because you have to collect all the fish, you have to collect all the bugs, and you have to collect all the fossils. And I was done with that several years ago, and I enjoyed this game enough that I didn't want to stop there, and I wanted to get all the stamps. And so then that was my next goal. And I really like that Animal Crossing has goals like that to motivate you to keep playing. Otherwise, the game would be very short if you stopped right after you got your 5-star island. I would definitely have to put it in my top 5 video games because of how comforting and easy to get into it is. And if you're just like, I don't know what to do with my time today, oh, just get on Animal Crossing. You can just play it for as little or as long as you want, and it just kind of fills that cup of whatever you need, whatever I need. It's right there. I mean, the characters are really cute. My favorite character is Robin, and that's just because in New Leaf, I just really loved her attitude. She just wouldn't take any crap, and she just speaks her mind, and she would say this, like, craziest things to me that I'd be like, oh, I cannot believe she just said that. And so I made sure that she stayed in my island. I would get online or on the game just so I could go talk to Robin, make sure she didn't move away, because man, that was very stressful. I'm really glad that New Horizons doesn't let that happen, where your neighbors only move out if you say, oh yes, you want to move? Okay, that's all right, you can move. And if you're like, no, I don't want you to move, then they stay, and you can keep whoever you want for as long as you want. And so, of course, with New Horizons, I had to get Robin back. As soon as I was able to get her, I actually think I had her card, and I just scanned her in because I was like, I'm not waiting to try to find you on an island to bring you to my island. I want you now. And so as soon as that was unlocked, I got her onto my island, and I customized her house, made it look all nice, put a wreath on her door, and she's like my neighbor. She's really close to where my house is because, yes, she's my favorite. My husband's favorite characters are probably Sprinkles and Flurry. He really likes Flurry quite a lot, and I actually have Flurry in my town right now too, because she is adorable. And she falls asleep all the time holding sandwiches, and I think that's so funny. And she just is fun for a completely different reason of why I like Robin. In comparing the two Animal Crossing games that I have played, New Leaf and New Horizons, I would say the things that I like about New Leaf that is missing in New Horizons, and I think a lot of people probably agree with this, is how you can have your island, all of the shops that they had in New Leaf. You just go up the stairs and it's just like a shopping street, and all the things are there, where you can get your hair cut, your hair styled, where you can buy the shoes from Kicks, where you have Mabel and Label and Sable all there. Yes, you can build their shop in your town, which is nice, but you don't get to build Kicks in your town. And I was waiting for it to come, and it never came. And then the hairstylist, you can't have your salon. You have to go to Harvey's Island to access the fortune teller and all those extra things. You have to go to the other place instead of having them on your island. And I was planning on making like a little of my own little street area with that stuff, and then they just came randomly to your town instead of being there forever. So I kind of missed that. I was really glad when they added diving, because I was afraid you weren't going to be able to swim and dive in New Horizons, and then it finally released as like an update, and I was like, oh, thank goodness, because I would have been sad if they'd missed that too. The fruit that they decided to not have anymore, just getting rid of the bananas, and like they got rid of so many of the fruit that I was like, why? Like, that just seemed like such a weird thing to get rid of, like, to have less fruit. And like, there could have been so many DIY opportunities to make like a banana chair and like banana shake and, you know, cooking. The cooking aspect, I really thought that was fun, having the cooking aspect added into New Horizons, being able to cook. I will say it would have been more fun if you could actually do more of like a cooking mama scenario and actually like do actions of cooking it rather than just pushing the button to create it. It could have been a little more interactive. I was kind of bummed that it was just a click and then you're done. So in the next Animal Crossing game, my suggestion would be to let us actually do some more interactiveness with the cooking aspect and bring back all the fruits and bring back the little street and maybe even have the space be even bigger to build on. That'd be cool too. I'm really excited and looking forward to the next one. Like, I know that it takes time to make Animal Crossing games. It was very long time from New Leaf to this one. It was, what, 9 years or something like that? It was a very long time. And so I know we probably have several more years before we're going to get another one. But when it comes, I will be ready for it. And you know I'm going to collect all of the things that I can collect. If they have a stamp system, badge system, if they have something like that again, you know I'm going to be there for it. If you have never played Animal Crossing, you should give it a go. If you like cozy, easy games that you can play as little or as much as you want, it's not really time restricted. If you need to pause, like, you could just save the game and get out. Like, you don't have to complete a huge task before you're allowed to save or anything. It's not that kind of a game. So it makes it really accessible for as little or as much as you want it. And if you like creating and building and stuff like that, the New Horizons is definitely the one for that as well. So those are some reasons why I really like Animal Crossing. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.